Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon is gone, which means chaos reigns, and I get to talk about how One Piece actually is better as a live-action series.
Objection! That's bullshit!
Brandon, you were supposed to be gone!
I was, until I heard your blasphemy!
In that case, you better lawyer the fuck up, cause you know I'm right.
Okay then, who gets to go first?
Such a ferocious battle could only be decided by one thing. Rock, paper, scissors.
Fine, you're on.
And so the two found themselves locked in an endless duel, one never besting the other until the end of time. Wait, what? What? No!
And since I am marginally better at rock, paper, scissors, One Piece works better in live action. The end.
Hey, whoa, wait.
I've made the argument. That's it. I'm done. I won rock, paper, scissors.
That's not.
Deal with it.
You need to keep this rolling, you know, like make it longer.
Fine, I'll give actual reasoning and references and valid proof. I've witnessed the One Piece live-action series, and I'll tell ya, I feel that it works better as a more grounded series than the old magical, whimsical, over-the-top caricatures that we've been given previously by the OG show. Please leave your pitch jokes down for but a moment. I'm the person who won rock, paper, scissors after all. I don't think that the anime quite captures the human or person behind the gimmick that each pirate, marine, or fishman would usually allow in animated form. I feel this the most when watching the clown pirate Bigby, Bugsby, Bullywug. I remember his name, I swear.
Binky, right?
Buggy. Buggy the Clown.
But I remember the first time I saw this guy on screen, I was like, damn, you could not draw the emotion this guy is giving right now with his performance. I really hope this guy sticks around longer than being just the second person that the crew fights. And what do you know? He does, and I'm so happy he does. I feel that something like this only truly works with the actor having full control over the voice, actions, and expressions that I can't help but feel would get lost between the animated medium and the voice actor in the original anime. Beyond the depth of characters with the live action series, I can feel the diversity of the world, surprisingly more than in the anime. Either sub or dub. All the voices just seem to be the same bunch of voices you hear in most anime. But in the live action series, you got accents from all over the damn globe, and it makes the world of One Piece feel that much larger instead of being the seas of Japan or America. Case in point is the fucking British sounding Sanji, innit, bro? When they cook you some fucking food, innit?
Yeah, okay. All reasonable points that haven't been made hundreds of times already. And while yes, the live action is good, crazy good in fact, and many people, including myself, agree that it has broken the live action adaptation curse, I still wouldn't put it above the original anime itself. Now, disclaimer for people on my side of the argument, I haven't watched the episodes in a while, you know, they came out so long ago, okay, give me a break. So Sean started off by saying that he feels the live action is more grounded, and I completely agree with him. It does feel more grounded. I even said in my episode 1 review that came out like a month ago now, it's weirdly like more grounded, if that makes sense. But for the anime, it wouldn't work at all. I feel like you almost have to dull the flame that is the whimsy of the anime. The joke cracking and Zoro laughing. I know the One Piece fandom have noticed at some point in the anime, Zoro loses his smile. It's a whole character arc thing, which perfectly juxtaposes the walk to Arlong Park. And yes, don't get me wrong, the live action has an amazing Arlong Park walk sequence, but I just don't think it hits as hard as the anime. In the live action, you're what, 7 and a bit hours into the story, In the anime, this is episode 37. You've had that time to develop a connection with the characters and understand how deep and impactful that moment really is. And now on to Buggy. I feel like putting the portrayal of Buggy in live action above the anime is honestly pretty reasonable. But the feel of the character is different. The live action is amazing. But I feel like it slightly missed the mark on who Buggy is. Buggy, in my opinion, is Luffy. They are two sides of the same coin. Both light-hearted pirates wanting more. Both with crazy strong devil fruit powers that they don't know the full potential of. And both even knowing Shanks. I feel like Buggy, in the early parts of the anime, is meant to juxtapose Luffy, to show how life could have been different. Buggy has grown bitter to the world around him, and let events in his life sour who he is, whereas Luffy still has that spark, and I feel that is honestly kind of lost in the live action. I also agree with Sean's next point. It is lovely to hear the diversity in the live action, and I agree that it's much better than the limitations of anime.
This is where I say a brave statement punishable by death. The Gum Gum effect looks better in CG than being animated because it stands out so much. The fact that 3D graphics look so rubbery naturally really brings the idea across that he's made of rubber more than in the anime, quite simply because in anime, facial structures and body parts moving around like rubber is part of the art style. However, in live action, these effects are far more noticeable when contrasted with real human actors. And on the topic of real human actors, the stunts and feats of strength are far more impressive when seen in live action. Zoro tri-wielding his swords in the anime is a gimmick to make him stand out from other sword fighters. He can still talk with the sword in his mouth, it's just a thing he does. He has 3 swords, you know, there's backstory to it, but that's it. But seeing Zoro in live action, when he puts that sword in his mouth, shit is about to get serious. No more quips, no more tough talk. This man wants to kill what he's fighting when that 3rd sword comes out. We interrupt this regularly scheduled One Piece debate to explore the cultural significance of Zoro's sword bending in its scabbard. Now, what many people don't realize about this scene is that when he rolls backwards upon his scabbard and the sword bends, what some people think it may be a mistake and go upon Adobe Premiere and After Effects in order to correct it. What you don't understand is that this is actually a purposeful representation about how our preconceptions about the physics of materials that we see are actually in fact... No, wait, come back. I have a thing for One Piece.
Get off the stage! Boo!
Anyway, now that he's kicked out of here with his opinions, let's talk some facts. I am going to agree with Sean. The Gum Gum no Mi looks amazing in live action, and I do understand where he's coming from, saying that it stands out more because, yes, in anime, to make things feel more emotive or even just to pop more, you're gonna need to stretch some limbs and some faces just to kind of give that point across ever so slightly more in the anime. However, this idea of things looking better in live action because they stand out better isn't exactly true. For example, Captain Kuro of the Black Cat Pirates. His ability, Pussyfoot Maneuver, yes, that's what it's called, please look it up, I am not kidding, it is called Pussyfoot Maneuver, looks incredible in the anime, allowing us to see how his ability works. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do. Whereas in the live action, his ability is him just kind of dipping out of frame, with a couple of little blur lines to indicate that he's gone. And keeping on with the Captain Kuro theme, I also think it's a good juxtaposition to Zoro in the live action. While yes, Zoro's stunts in the live action are incredible and amazing, and you can definitely tell all the hard work that's been put in, it's a little bit harder to say the same for Captain Kuro. His main weapons, the cat claws, which his whole crew is named after, look like they're more of a burden than someone who's proficient in wielding these dangerous weapons on the end of his hands. And as for the last bit about Captain Kuro and the Black Cat Pirates, what the fuck was all of that, okay? They missed so much.
On the topic of impressive stunts, Sanji's actor makes sure he keeps his hands clean for cooking by training 8 to 10 hours a day to get them kicks looking perfect, and the work pays off. With wire work, etc., the coordination and choreography is just so damn amazing to watch. Knowing the athletic effort put into each move in the fight scenes, to me, it's better than seeing it in animated form because of the knowledge that it's actual people putting in that strength and effort into it. Another strength that I feel the live action has over the original is the fact that it feels like a remastering of how the story should have been told, with the perfect mix of plot and flashbacks to keep the story moving at a more narrative and cinematic pace rather than another episode in a series, makes it for a much more enjoyable viewing experience, more akin to One Piece rather than One Piece. Since Luffy's scar doesn't get explained until like episode 150 something in the original, I apologize, diehard fans. Call me a Gen Z with no attention span, but maybe I don't want to wait 500 episodes before it gets good. The efficient storytelling is aided by the addition of bounty posters being used to introduce characters, and then the character knocks them away, fucking eats them themselves. It's the joys of being meta, and gets all the information about the character you need across to the viewer instantly. And I must say, through these arguments alone, I feel that this is why the One Piece live action actually wins out against the original run of the anime, in my opinion. Which is definitive, and no one can argue against it because my opinion is right and objective, and that is all there is to say.
Who won? Who's next? You decide!